Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor. Welcome to my YouTube station. I'm here to give you information. I've worked thousands of cases. I've been on the national news many times, so I try to go ahead and give you everything that you need to do. Today, I've got a bunch of videos how to solve difficult IRS problems on your own. I've worked, like I said, thousands of these cases, and people call me all the time. And people don't want to pay for professional representation. Some people don't have the money. So if you want to solve a particular difficult problem on your own, first of all, let me just walk through the process. You've got to pull the official IRS transcript up. You can go ahead and pull the IRS transcript up. It's not important what your record says, it's what the IRS record says. That's what you have to change. So go on irs.gov and pull there's 4 transcripts, pull them all up, but your record of account will tell you where you stand with IRS, what's filed, what's not filed, and how much you owe. Then you have to take your records, and then you have to go ahead and match the record of the IRS. That's the first thing you have to do. What does their record say? What does your record say? Now you have to fix the IRS problem. Now, if it's a problem that the numbers don't match up with what your records say and what IRS records say, trying to call the service center sometimes is difficult. So what you can do, if you call them and don't get the answer you want, you should contact the Taxpayers Advocates Office. The Taxpayers Advocates Office is in every state. Just go Taxpayers Advocates for Florida, Colorado, California. There's usually 1, 2, or 3 offices in most states. You can e-fax them your request. What you do is you work with an independent office of the IRS Appeals. They look at your case, they look at their document, and then now you can engage one person who will go ahead and try to resolve your case. That's if the numbers don't really add up. That what your records say, gee, my tax return doesn't say that. I called IRS and they're saying I owe this. You should first always go to the person who prepared your return. You should try to get this done before you go to them. If you have a problem and you didn't go to your tax preparer, well, that doesn't make sense, because that's the person who should know. They prepared your tax return. So then you want to contact the Taxpayers Advocates Office. So that's if your liability doesn't add up. If you got an IRS problem in the collection division, then you're going to have to call the collection division at the 1-800 number, or a revenue officer who's working your case. So when that happens, they're going to want a financial statement, and with that statement, they're either going to put you in currently not collectible, a payment agreement, or you can file for an offer and compromise. So when you fix your problem, sit down and say, is the liability right? Then you move to the collection division problem. If you don't agree with the debt amount, then you go to the Taxpayer Advocates Office. Remember, the collection division, about 95% of all cases are handled out of the service center. So you can call the 1-800 number and deal with the service center. When the cases get big and the IRS feels there's more to it, they send them down to the local office, and a revenue officer will be assigned your case. So once you get all frustrated and you can't work the case anymore, and it's a large dollar, call me. I can solve it for you. But I encourage everyone, if they want to try to solve the problem themselves, remember, file all your returns and stay current, because the person on the phone is going to make sure you filed all your tax returns. And if you're self-employed, they want to make sure you're making current deposits. Now you hear the truth. Give me a subscription. Thank you so much. Blessings.